It's hard, you know. Not everybody goes through the same thing, but for some people it's all hard, but some is worse.
Yeah.
Again, a guy who was in the front, his wife and the sister-in-law.
Okay.
They're here just for 2 weeks, and he's asking, "I need a job. Please find me a job. I want to work."
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's not like people don't want to contribute and give back, and they're
Exactly.
hard workers.
So, while wandering around the Saturday market, Laura and I noticed that younger people were generally more receptive to our message of refugees. Older people seem to have some preconceptions. However, and this suggests that in the cycle of socialization that we can in fact break it and try to have a positive influence.
Boise is a pretty special place when it comes to being a refugee resettlement program. So literally from the mayor's office on down, the city government is supportive, Parks and Rec, just all sort of across that actual landscape. And then in terms of just the way that it's been involved with volunteering, donating, and supporting the work that we do, employing refugees, housing refugees, befriending refugees. I mean, really the list goes on. There's just a lot of great stuff that's happening.
Refugees are people that are leaving their country to get away from things such as violence, exploitation, and powerfulness, which Iris Marion Young lists in her 5 Faces of Oppression. Immigrants, on the other hand, are people that are usually driven out of their country for economic reasons.
I talked to my sister and we spoke about the difference of an immigrant and a refugee. Her point was that some immigrants or illegal immigrants who come to this country could be considered refugees. She asked me a question: can somebody be illegal? We have the phrase illegal immigrants, but is that correct? No, how can somebody be illegal? They may not have the right documents, but no person is illegal. But if you get called or labeled something enough, you internalize it. Many people aren't correctly informed about what a refugee is, and they think it is a burden or a problem to our society, when in actuality, they bring so much culture and greatness to our country.
I myself, along with many Bosnian refugees, have contributed to our community here in Boise. With local businesses such as restaurants, markets, nail salons, Bosnians, along with many refugees, are living the American dream.
In Carmelita Castaneda's article, Flexing Cross-Culture Communication, Castaneda discusses bridging the gap between different cultures through multiple avenues of communication. Castaneda uses the flex diagram to demonstrate how to effectively do this. This diagram of communication directly relates to refugees in our community, especially with businesses, by being accepting of these cultures and businesses, and by allowing our culture and theirs to assimilate together.
After finishing this project, one of the biggest things that we all took away from this was that we got to provoke people's thoughts about refugees. When we finished our interviews, we found that people didn't really know anything about refugees, so getting to talk to them and informing everyone what we learned about refugees was inspiring. Even though we didn't get a lot of donations, we agreed that we did something much bigger. We informed. Refugees are not a deficit, they are an asset.